Hello there. Peace, everybody. My name is Brenda Williams, and I'm the founder of Culture Shifters Unite, the podcast, Soul of a Lead Her, for she who lives and works from the soul, and the Brenda Williams Show. And I wanted to just take a moment to really kind of give you a glimpse of the intention and the proverbial behind the scenes, but I think a little bit more. I think it's the intricacies and inner workings of seasonal planning, but also our way ahead and impacting change in the ways that we can, where we can. And so what do I mean by that? So seasonal planning is actually an integral part of something much larger. It's not part of a business plan, but it is. It's not simply scaling a business, but it's about building a legacy. And it is about, again, making an impact where we can. And that then ripples out and becomes an ecosystem. And how is seasonal planning an ecosystem? Because what happens is every life that comes into the planning session represents a legacy. Because of the diversity that exists within those female identified leaders who are coming in, we have people on different sides of history of systemic racism. People on different sides of history in terms of bigotry, sexism, misogynoir, misogyny. And too many times when we talk about patriarchy, we leave out other people who are impacted. Hey, Mike, how are you? One of my favorite poets from Detroit. What up, though? About how patriarchy, depending on your identity, how you're impacted, or identities, so multiple identities. So patriarchy, yes, it impacts white women, white femmes for sure, but it also can show up as homophobia, xenophobia, ageism, bodyisms, anything that is not white, that it is not heterosexual, and that is definitely not male and not wealthy. So that pushes a lot of people from the margins of power. And Mike, I love you. Oh my goodness, love you so much. I hope to see you soon. I'm not sure if you're competing again in the Valentine's Day Slam, but I do plan on being there. But I digress. What I'm hoping to do with the seasonal planning session is that as much as we will talk about what are our offers and how do we want to price our offers, yes, that is important, especially if you're a leader and a business owner, you want to know what your profit margins are. But I think it's also to note, how are you going to show up for those who are furthest from the power center? How are you going to use your time, talent, and treasure each quarter to perhaps highlight an organization that is doing great work, where you're going to invest your money? Where are you going to use your voice? How are you going to amplify those who need amplification? Because it's not that they're voiceless. And I think when we say things like to those without voices, no, to those who people do not pay attention to. Because there's a difference between not having a voice and not being heard. And what we're talking about are people who are not being heard. I think that the other piece of this planning session is that we're divesting from the ways in which popular culture has told us time exists. 12 months, no, we have 13. 4 seasons, no, actually we have 5. So what do you mean, Brenda, we have 5 seasons and 13 months? We actually have 13 moons. So that means that we have more months. So for those of you who feel that time is a cruel mistress, you actually have more time than you think. And your body also responds to seasonality. So with that season or winter arc that is like time outside of time, we have time that actually exists out of time. And I think that it's important to note that as you're charting out your goals, things that you want to accomplish and visibility and all of those as a business owner, it is important for you to track, yes, your visibility, where you're going to be visible. Your money or your profit pathways. Those are it is super important. But it is not important enough to cost you your soul, cost you time for those who mean the most to you, just to prove or validate who you are, because, beloved, because you exist, therefore you are. And God so loved the world, right? So before I start preaching, because I can do that too, I really, really want you to understand that your divine nature and your divine being requires divine treatment from, yes, others, but how you treat yourself, how you see yourself, how are you loving yourself? And you're not designed to work yourself, to prove yourself at the detriment of health and at the risk of rest. And so divine rest is also what some of the things that we talk about in seasonal planning is how do we rest? How do we allocate our time to rest? And so I'll be doing a teaching next month on my Substack about sabbatical economics. Yeah, how do we talk about Sabbath economics? Right, so between Sabbath and the Nguzo Saba principles unite, how do we live from that space, live from that center? And that's a different center to live in. And it can take a moment because white supremacist delusion is everywhere. It's in the very waters that we swim in. However, when we begin to divest from it, even reimagining our time, reimagining how we use our resources and how we treat ourselves. Because again, I will say this till the cows come home. Audre Lorde told us that the master's tools will not dismantle the master's house. So then how do we dismantle the master's house? Well, one, stop trying to go to his door and expecting him to be anything different than what he is. But what if we begin to construct and use our foundation? Our foundation is love. And I believe when we have love as the foundation, we can build anything. And love is indestructible. It is limitless, and it bows to no one. Love is infallible. Beloved, you are infallible. That doesn't mean that you don't need to take care of yourself. You absolutely do. But whatever you come up against, I can assure you, beloved, that with the right resources, you'll be able to move through, be a firewalker. And depending on your lineage, I can definitely attest that if you are inhabiting the body of a melanated woman, trans, non-binary folk, you already know the keys to survival because you've watched it time and again. So with that, I want to close with this. Seasonal planning, go to the link in my bio, share it with a friend, 2 or 5. We only have 3 spots left, but the other part of this is that it ripples out. Not only do you get access to the session itself, you'll get a intuitive reading with myself plus a numerology report. We'll look at the universal year and look at your personal year and create a roadmap for you on how to navigate this year for you personally. Additionally, you'll get a full year subscription to my Substack, and wait, there's more. You'll get segment sponsorship for the next season of the Brenda Williams Show. We have a segment called Give Them Their Flowers where we look at individuals in our community who are doing amazing things in the community and many times under-resourced and under-recognized. I just wish that wasn't the way. However, we want to recognize those individuals by giving them their flowers while they are still here to receive them. So think your teachers, educators, caregivers, pantry, people who run clothing closets. One of our, favorite educators, Silver Moore, Bernita Bradley, come to mind immediately as we think about giving them their flowers. Former educators like my teachers, who saw fit to pour into me. And then, of course, the wonderful social work lady, Wanda Olubala. And these are just a few people that have received their flowers. But we want to give more. So next season, you will help support and sponsor flowers. And my vendor, of course, a Black woman. So we want to redistribute wealth. I mean, of course, $300 may not seem like a lot or wealth to someone, but it is a lot, or at least it's enough to say, hey, you know what? We see you, we acknowledge you, we appreciate you, your time, your talent, your treasure that you give, and give some more. So come on in. We invite you to come to Seasonal Planning. It is virtual on Zoom. The link is in my bio. So please share this with a female identified business owner, social impact convener, head of a nonprofit or grassroots organization. Unfortunately, at this point, I have exhausted my scholarships for this, but I have recognized that there are individuals in our community and in our world who are doing amazing work and also just need the support. But if you want to donate $300, it's $333. If you want to make a donation and name it, then I can give another scholarship. And I would love to be able to give another scholarship. So with that in mind, this is my time. I need to make sure that I take care of my father, so I'm gonna pop off here now to go do some caregiving. But thank y'all for tuning in. You all have been so lovely. Thank you all. And Mike, I hope to see you soon at the next Poetry Slam. And thank you for Kay Grant, PhD. Hey, how you doing? I hope that you know, maybe this may interest you. Would love to see you join us. And Kay Kent, for joining us as well. It has been wonderful to see you all. And again, share this with a friend or two. We only have 3 spots left for this season, but seasonal planning does happen once a quarter along the equinox. But again, because we have that pocket of time, that time outside of time, this is the time that we want to be spending planning because the earth is still sleeping. So sending you so much love too. Love to see you. Thank you for tuning in. And again, please share this with someone. Also follow me on Substack. We have some really great things in store, especially for those who are founding members. We'll be doing some member spotlights. But again, thank you so much for all of the support and the love and joining me on this very real Instagram. All right, good humans. I will see you all very soon. Share. Follow. Encourage others to follow. And let's just be, the change, not to sound hokey, but let's be the change that we want to see in the world. All right. Bye for now.